Nope. All right, it is time to go racing. Up front will be Giancarlo and Harry. Second row will be Scott Nalawi and Maximilian Gunther. Chris Perry and Yuho on the third row. Jason Wahlberg and Rudolph Gunther on the fourth row. And Killer V and Simon Zierk rounding out the top 10. Brian LaRue and Ed Schilling 11th and 12th. 13th is Matthew Allen. Thomas Smith is 14th. Adam Barker 15th. Matt Bear is 16th. And Clayton Allen starting 17th. Remember, the last four cars, did not take to the track for qualifying today, as they line up on the front row. And there you see it. This is the version without the banking. So these guys will not be going out onto that high-speed banking. They'll be staying on the infield. Looks like just about everybody has taken to the track. Looking to see who's missing. It looks like Thomas Smith will be the last one to take the grid. He was the last one to finish qualifying. There he comes. All the drivers on the field, one pace lap, and then the pace car will drop in, and they will go racing for 1 hour around Homestead on the road course A. Is its exact name. We will ride along with a car but a couple of times throughout the race, but do pay attention to this turn 1 entry, as the pit road exit is right there on the right hand side. That's going to make things really sketchy when green flag pit stops begin. As we saw in practice, there's a couple of incidents as they were trying to come up off pit road. Cars having to go wide into turn 2, and a bunch of different issues came out of that. Now, Giancarlo is starting up front. Yuho starting back in 6th place. And that is the battle for the lead in points. That is just 2 points difference between Giancarlo and Yuho. Yuho taking that points lead last week after his dominating performance. Also, look, there is potential for some guys to change tires on pit road today. A lot of drivers expecting extreme tire wear, the likes of which we haven't seen since Sabuka, because of the heat. And if you guys were talking about tire strategy being a possibility, getting fresh tires when they stop for fuel. Most of them will not. They don't want to give up that much time on the track, but I bet we see a couple of them go for it just to see if they can take an advantage. And if they do, we'll keep a very close eye on that run. Pace car about to drop off. There is the pit road entry on the left. So obviously extremely pit road going to be dangerous today. The pace car is in. Green flag is in the air. Giancarlo already down and away as soon as the pace car pulled off. Everybody trying to get single file into turn 1. Looking back through the field, a little bit of a bunch up at the back of the field. Looks like Matthew Allen actually went to pit lane as soon as the race started. No, he's back out there. He must have just clipped the pit road entrance. Giancarlo currently in the lead. Yuho already picking up a position. He is up to 5th, running down Maximilian. These tight corners definitely benefit the Porsches, but the Porsche does not have the same top end speed as some of these other cars. Additionally, a lot of guys with that rear engine in the Porsche, a lot of the Porsche drivers saying this track was not going to be a great track for them today, especially with the heat. Let's check the track temperature again. It's up to 130 already. Chris Perry has had an incident on lap 2. Coming back into the infield. Sends it in there. Oh, and hard into that inside tire barrier. He has gone to pit road to get some repairs. Chris Perry was having a good run. Started in 5th place, just a little too deep through the infield corners. The lone McLaren is in 2nd place and all over the back bumper of Giancarlo, as they actually are starting to pull away from 3rd place, Scott Nalawi. Maximilian Gunther in 4th, Yuho in 5th, Rudolph Gunther in 6th, Jason Wahlberg is 7th, Killer V is 8th, Simon Zierk 9th, and Brian LaRue is in 10th. Worth noting, Adam Barker started back in 15th, barely made it into the session in the Audi, back in the Hello Kitty paint scheme, and has moved his way up to 12th and trying to run some folks down here. Matt Bear has gone off track. There's Matt in the Mercedes. And just a little too deep through the corner, back on the track. Then he went for a beach vacation. It is Florida. Scott Nalawi had started losing touch with the leaders, but Harry is losing touch right now with Giancarlo. Giancarlo just ran the fastest lap of the race last time by. Harry's time 0.2 of a second off, but Scott Nalawi is starting to gain on him. It's definitely going to be interesting as the race goes on, knowing that the track temperature has gone up even more. Adam Barker is closing in on several more cars. Clayton Allen has had an off track. Oh, just bounces off the lone Ferrari of Matthew Allen. As mentioned, the track temperature is hotter than what they practiced, but it's even hotter right now than it was in the practice session and in qualifying. Everybody was talking about having to back up their braking points, brake earlier, brake harder, and that is definitely going to play out. If this track temperature continues to go up, we could see lap times drop dramatically as the race goes on. And as always, if you have a favorite driver in the field, drop into the chat. Let us know who you're cheering for here today. Adam Barker and Matt Bear, so far the two biggest movers of the race, both up 3 spots. Adam started in 15th, he is up to 12th. Matt started in 16th, he is up to 13th. And actually, Adam just took 11th place from Ed Schilling. The Mercedes were proving very fast in practice. I think it takes a little bit to really get those cars, because they are longer, it takes a little bit longer to get some heat into them and get them moving, get them turning. But once they do, later in the run, expect to see the Mercs coming forward. Clayton Allen involved in another incident. And clips the... He was squirrely under braking. Does a donut. I do believe that is the first donut of the race. And remember, in pre-race I mentioned a couple of the drivers saying that this race would be determined by who did the fewest number of donuts here. Harry currently running in second, but he is losing ground quickly. 2 1/4 seconds behind Giancarlo right now. Scott Nalawi in third, Maximilian Gunther in fourth, and Yuho in fifth. Yuho, first time this season he's qualified outside the top 5. Thomas Smith has had an incident. Looks like there is a lot of sliding off track here today. And a lot by the Porsches as he just gets into the corner too deep and hits the brakes, spins the car. However, not a full donut, so we're not going to count it. Looks like there's some chaos behind involving Adam Barker. Adam Barker's in the dirt. Several cars go off in the dirt. Looks like Rudolph Gunther, Ed Schilling, Adam Barker. There is Rudolph Gunther. And, oh, I think there might have been a little bit of netcode there. And then Ed Schilling comes sliding in. He misses the turn. Adam Barker goes with him. It looks like the bad luck might have returned to Barker. We'll have to watch and see. Ed Schilling just had a later braking point, and you got to feel bad for Rudolph Gunther before he could even recover. That car was in the getting hit again. Killer V through the same section, or through where we've seen a lot of incidents. Simon Zierk barely able to avoid that. A lot of chaos on track so far. However, Adam Barker did manage to hold on to 11th, but Matt Bear is the man on the move as he is now up to 10th. There's Killer V, who's made it up to 9th. Brian LaRue is 8th. Simon Zierk up to 7th now. Jason Wahlberg in 6th and Yuho in 5th. And once Adam gets back to the start-finish line, we'll take a lap around with him. Or we could hop in the car with Harry, the lone McLaren. Let's ride along with Harry as he comes out of the final section, that little chicane there. And you see how much it unsettles the car as you get onto the front straightaway. Still on throttle down through turn 1, on the brakes into turn number 2. Looks like that little bit less power is paying off. He's able to get onto the gas a little bit harder and start accelerating a little bit quicker. Watch some speeds out of his car as he tries to keep Giancarlo in sight. He has kept him at about 2 seconds not letting him get any further away. Ed Schilling, after that incident, did tow to pit road. He is back out on track. Hard left-hander as they come onto the back straight. "10 minutes into this thing and a lot of excitement. But the McLaren just seems to be so well planted here. Back through that final chicane, up onto the banking. And that is a lap around the track in a McLaren. He did that in a minute 22.33. Did hear a couple of guys saying that the times were actually slower than what they had seen in practice this week. Just because of the extra temperature. And remember, these guys practice between 85 and 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Now at 130 degrees, it's a completely different animal out there. They are really having to adjust how they drive. Notice Maximilian is actually taking some of these turns, these sharper turns, a little bit wider than he was in practice. Not trying to clip the apex here. He's going a little bit wider. Those Porsches were said to be the toughest car here because of the rear engine and the temperature. The track, even at the temperatures they practiced at, was tricky in a Porsche. But as hot as it is, with all that weight over the rear tires, just makes it a lot more squirrely. Although none of this seems to be affecting Giancarlo. Ed Schilling appears to have had another incident. And we have seen through this section, as they come off the back straightaway, through the second infield section, so many incidents here today. Ed gets it rolling again. But he is going to lose a ton of time there. Ed actually currently being scored in last place, and not where we're used to seeing Ed running. Giancarlo is starting to pull away again, now 2.3 seconds. Harry has a 2.1 second lead over Scott Nalawi, but there is a battle going on for third place as Maximilian Gunther is all over the back bumper of Scott Nalawi, and not far behind is Yuho in fifth. Based on his lap times, he was faster, obviously, in the cooler temperature in practice and in qualifying. He was faster. Expect to see that car get a little bit faster later in the run. But it looks like Yuho is taking it a bit easy early on here today. Giancarlo through the infield section has been so consistent. Have not seen a single incident out of him yet. Adam Barker is continuing his march back towards the front. He is now up to 9th and has Killer V right in front of him in 8th place. Pretty impressive run considering he had no time on track, did not qualify, barely made it into the race today. Started in 15th up to 9th and the lone Audi in the field. And now he is looking to the inside as they take the final turn towards the back straightaway. Down the back straightaway, back to the infield. Adam Barker in 8th place, up 7 spots now. Oh, Adam Barker spins. All three of them go around. Killer V, Matt Bear. All that time that Adam had made up, he is now back to 10th and slipping quickly. And there's going to be another incident between Matt Bear and Killer V. And another, what happened there? There is chaos everywhere. Let's try and get a replay on everything that happened here. Obviously, the two Mercedes get together. Adam Barker barely managing to avoid that. Oh, and then another collision on the final turn. Let's take a look at some of what just happened there. As you see, Adam, Killer V, and Adam just clipped the apron. I don't know what went wrong with Killer V. Let's see if we can take a look. He was right in front of Matt Bear. Yep, all three of them just clipped aprons at different points and sent themselves around, all of them pushing. Matt Bear has towed to pit road. He had stopped on the front straightaway. He's now on pit road. Adam Barker has managed to recover up to 9th place as he comes back down the front straightaway. No significant damage on his car. Killer V around again. Killer V in the Porsche. We heard about the Porsche instability and the problems there. Obviously, coming off that banking upsets the car, and that rear engine car just does not like it at all. And more cars on pit road. Ed Schilling is on pit road again. Giancarlo continues to extend his lead, now 2.5 seconds over Harry. And I think everybody outside the top 5 has been involved. No, let's see. From 8th on back, everybody has been involved in something. So far this race, only 20 minutes in and a lot of chaos out on track. Adam Barker, though, despite the bad luck, despite all the issues, despite starting late, he has still made his way back into 9th place. He's 11 seconds behind Brian LaRue in 8th, so he's going to struggle to get caught back up, but he'll continue the march forward. Now the question becomes, as we get some of these guys, it looks like Ed Schilling is the only car left on pit road. Matt Bear may be done for today. As some of these guys go to pit road for repairs, when they come off pit road, right there in turn 1, we could start seeing a little bit of chaos there as well. Rudolph Gunther is the last car on the lead lap, currently in 13th place, but in his mirror is Giancarlo. Rudolph's lap time's not that far off the leader. However, it has been a matter of being stuck behind a lot of chaos, having to check up quite a few times, being involved in the incidents earlier that he has fallen back. He might stand a chance of pulling away just a little bit, or maybe keeping Giancarlo behind him until pit stops. Harry in 2nd place, now 3 seconds behind, but he has 3.5 seconds over Scott Nalawi. Maximilian Gunther is in 4th, Yuho in 5th, and Yuho has started to pick up the pace just a little bit. And starting to close in on Maximilian. He's all over the back bumper. Speaking of back bumpers, looks like Yuho does have a little bit of damage on the right front of that bumper on the splitter. Could be related to how hard he is bouncing it and how rough this track is as you go from banking to the flat infield. Jason Wahlberg in 6th place. Chris Perry pulling over to let the lead lap cars by. And Giancarlo just continuing to march away with another one so far. But that McLaren, don't count it out yet. Adam Barker has been involved in another incident. Same place as last time. It looked like he just got in there too deep. And, oh, just barely missing that Mercedes. Gets it turned around, and he is going to maintain 9th place for the moment. Quick check of the track temperature. Still 130 degrees. Don't expect to see it jump dramatically further from here as we approach the halfway point of this race. Giancarlo did get around Rudolf Gunther and put the 13th place car a lap down. Now the next car up will be Thomas Smith in 12th. 12 cars on the lead lap. Scott Nalawi in 3rd, Maximilian Gunther in 4th, and Yuho in 5th. Yuho closes up on those 2 cars in front of him pretty much whenever he needs to, whenever he wants to, but he is not really pushing it as hard as we have seen in recent weeks. Now, obviously the Porsche, all the Porsches really struggling here today, but I think Yuho is holding back, at least here in the early running. With all the chaos, might be the smart. Oh, Yuho goes off track. Is he going to save it? He does. Great car control out of Yuho. Clayton Allen has had an incident in 10th place. And again, a Porsche hitting the bump, coming back into the infield off the back straightaway, loses the back end. The Porsches are really having some real struggles here today. The top running Porsche actually is in 4th place. That's Maximilian Gunther and Yuho in 5th. But it seems like the bigger cars seem to be where the advantage is here today. The Lambo up front, the McLaren in 2nd, the BMW in 3rd. The other Lambo driven by Jason Wahlberg currently running 6th. The other BMW in 7th. That is Simon Zierk. Brian LaRue in the highest running Mercedes, currently in 8th. The lone Audi of Adam Barker in 9th. And the lone Ferrari of Matthew Allen is actually up to 10th place. A bit of a surprise. The Ferrari often is one of the harder cars to handle. However, this newer version of the Ferrari that we got at the start of this season seems to be a lot more stable and a lot easier to handle on these tight corners. Definitely seems to be easier when you're getting back on the throttle. Clayton Allen in 11th. He has had several issues. He was in 10th. And he has still picked up a lot of positions from starting in 17th, but he continues to struggle here today. Another Porsche having some difficulties. Here's an interesting note of the 7 Porsches in the field. 5 of them are outside the top 10. They are 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. It's Clayton Allen, Thomas Smith, Rudolph Gunther, Killer V, and Chris Perry. 2 of the 3 Mercedes are at the back. Matt Baer out of the race. Ed Schilling in 16th. And obviously we saw the incident with Matt Baer, Ed Schilling earlier on. Giancarlo continues to pull away. 3.3 second lead over Harry now. Harry still maintaining a 3-second lead over Scott Nalawi. Maximilian Gunther all over the back bumper, but Yuho has drifted back quite a bit. He's now 5 seconds behind. He did have a couple of off tracks. I do believe this is the one we saw live earlier. Yeah, he managed to save that one. And it looks like he has had another one more recently in the same spot. That one he was not able to save, drifts it across the track, managing to get back on track and not get any damage, but Jason Wahlberg also involved in an incident. As these tires, Jason just loses the back end into the corner. As these tires heat up with this track temperature, they are getting very greasy, especially those rear tires. Should start seeing green flag stops in the next couple of laps, and do expect to see a few drivers, especially guys further back, go for fresh tires. Thomas Smith has crashed. Down through turn 1, turn 2, and just clips that outside rumble strip, goes around, backs it off track just before some of the lead lap cars get to him. He ended up towing to pit road though. And the complexion of this race keeps changing with every incident. Adam Barker is now 20 seconds behind Brian LaRue. LaRue had an incident a minute ago. A little problem there through turn 2. Manages to recover. But just based on the incidents that Adam had behind, Adam was not able to pick up any time during that exchange. Giancarlo really having to deal with a lot of lap traffic now. And he has lapped the lone Ferrari of Matthew Allen, so Clayton Allen is the last car on the lead lap in 10th place. Don't expect Giancarlo to come to pit road immediately. He is one that stretches his fuel as far as he can, takes as little fuel as possible on pit road. Coming down the backstretch, back through the infield section of track. And back out onto the front straightaway. let's take a lap with Giancarlo. See just how much faster he is going. Obviously the Porsche a little bit more nimble through these corners. But with the slick track, the Lambo able to get the power back down a lot earlier. Heading down toward the left-hand turn, back onto the back straightaway, 143 miles an hour. Easy, very gentle getting back onto the gas as he comes back up to speed. 141, and then back down where we've seen so many incidents during this race, right through this section. And then that hard bump back up onto the track out of the final turn. .146 before he gets down into turn number 2. And it looks like Maximilian Gunther has had an incident. Let's see where that started. Same area we have seen so many Porsches struggle through that section between the back straightaway coming around to finish the lap on the front straightaway. Almost every make has been involved in an incident there. But the Porsches have really struggled coming off the back straightaway into the infield. Clayton Allen has been passed by Giancarlo. Now 9 cars on the lead lap. Brian LaRue just about a third of a lap ahead of Giancarlo right now. Adam Barker, after the Maximilian Gunther's incident, Adam Barker has made his way up to 8th. He continues to overcome every problem. Jason Wahlberg just went off track. Just a little too fast through that section. One thing is for certain, this track has given us non-stop excitement throughout this race. Alright, Scott Nalawi was the first car to hit pit road. He went a lap ago for his regular scheduled pit stop. It looks like Adam Barker is now headed down pit road as well. He gives up 8th place. Watching to see, I don't think we'll see Giancarlo for another 5 minutes or so. So roughly another 3 laps, as it looks like Harry has given up 2nd place to come to pit road. Matthew Allen is coming in 11th place as well. Adam Barker has drifted back to 10th and on his way back out as Harry drives down to his pit stop. And Yuho, by virtue of just staying out a little bit longer, is now up to 2nd place. And as much as it seems like Yuho appears to be holding back just a little bit here, I have to wonder if he can go further than most of these guys on fuel. Not seen anybody change tires under green flag stops yet. Yuho in second though, 15 seconds back. Adam Barker now one lap down in 10th place as pit stops begin to cycle. Look for Giancarlo in about another 3 laps as Yuho is coming to pit road. He gives up his second place, and now Simon Zierk is going to move up to second. Maximilian Gunther up to third. These guys having not pitted yet. It's interesting to watch some of the differences. If you watch Maximilian through those tighter corners, he really seems to be throwing that car around those corners, almost forcing it to do what he wants it to do, whereas some of the other drivers seem to just floats through the corners. But Maximilian has definitely made it work here today. He has continued to, despite incidents, continued to move up throughout the race. Simon Zierk in the BMW, now up into second. He's going to come to pit road. Maximilian's going to come to pit road. Giving up third. We've got a car off track. I believe that was Matthew Allen. And Jason Wahlberg comes to pit road. Harry is back out on track, and Giancarlo still has not been to pit road as he comes through the infield. Just a guess, but I'm going to say Giancarlo goes one more lap before he hits pit road. Harry has now reclaimed second, Nalawi in third, but Nalawi has had his pit stop was 3 seconds faster than Harry's, and he has managed to close that gap up dramatically. So now we have a battle for second place. Giancarlo, I stand corrected, Giancarlo is on pit road now. As Giancarlo goes down pit road, Harry is headed toward the back straightaway. Giancarlo has had some extremely fast and consistent stops all season long, managing to pull off the bare minimum fuel stop and get back out on track. Harry's pit stop was 20.5 seconds. Scott's was 17.85. Let's see what Giancarlo ends up with. Giancarlo has a 16.03 second stop as he is starting to roll back up off pit road. He is down and away, maintains the lead, and has 35 seconds. Nope, as they come up to speed, it looks like that gap is now down to 9.5 seconds, but he did increase his lead. His overall time on pit road was 4 seconds faster than Harry's. And with 20 minutes left to go, 2/3 of the race is done. Giancarlo has a 9.3 second lead. Harry in second place, but he now has to contend with Scott Nalawi on his back bumper, just 1.3 seconds back. Yuho has made his way up into fourth place, but he is 7.6 seconds back. Simon Zierk dropped back to fifth after pit stops. He is currently 2.2 seconds behind Yuho. Maximilian has overcome a lot here today to come up to sixth place. Jason Wahlberg currently in seventh. Clayton Allen is being scored in eighth place. He has not been to pit road yet, though. He has had a bunch of different incidents, looking for any advantage he can here with some strategy. Adam Barker now up to ninth. Once Clayton Allen comes to pit road, he will take eighth place. And Rudolph Gunther in 10th. And Giancarlo, since his pit stop, has actually started pulling away as Ed Schilling involved in another incident. Oh, the lone Ferrari has a problem right in front of him. He has nowhere to go. Ed Schilling toes to pit road again. Clayton Allen is on pit road. Matthew Allen managed to keep going. And you got to feel for Ed Schilling. He's had some fast laps out there, but just awful, awful luck today. Last time by, Giancarlo was 122.8, Yuho 122.7, Harry 122.65. I don't think Giancarlo is pushing as hard as he can right now as Harry ducks down to the inside, or shoots by on the outside, excuse me. Overtakes a lap car. Harry is on a mission here. Clayton Allen has completed his pit stop, but he dropped to 12th place over that pit stop. Matthew Allen, the lone Ferrari, been caught in so many issues, and we saw him get hit by Ed Schilling after he lost it right in front of Ed Schilling. Ed had nowhere to go, gets into the back of him. You see that back end is really torn up. It looks like that bumper is barely holding on. He goes too wide through that corner. Harry in second place has chipped away about a quarter of a second in the last lap, but he's going to have to chip away a lot more every lap if he wants any chance at catching Giancarlo. Jason Wahlberg had an incident a moment ago. And the same place we saw him have an incident earlier, that's the only place that Lambo has had any incidents here today. And it looks like Giancarlo decided to crank it up after that last lap. Let's see what he runs this time. As a car is coming off pit road, not going to be an issue. Do believe that is Ed Schilling rolling off pit road. As you see, the exit right of pit road, right there in the middle of turn one. Harry currently running in second, has started to pull away just a little bit from Nalawi. Nalawi now 1.5 seconds back. and losing ground. Yuho still 7.3 seconds back from Nalawi in fourth. Simon Zierk 2.88 seconds behind. Maximilian Gunther all over the back bumper of Simon Zierk here. That's the battle for fifth place. Hey, good morning, Aiden. Giancarlo continuing to lead here. Harry in second place. And Harry is starting to lose ground again. Scott Nalawi in third, also losing ground to Harry. Yuho in fourth, has actually started to pick up some steam now. And Simon Zierk and Maximilian Gunther, not that far behind Yuho, have been nose to tail for several laps. The BMW obviously taking that corner a little bit wider, but he's going to carry a little more momentum off. However, Maximilian has the advantage of being in the draft down the straightaway. Oh, we've got a car off right in front of 5th and 6th place. I believe that was Clayton Allen. And yeah, it is. It's a Porsche and comes off the banking again. Another issue. Just under 12 minutes to go. Giancarlo way out front. Harry continues to chop away just a little bit. He'll chop away a couple tenths one lap, and then it seems like Giancarlo just cranks it back up on the next lap. Jason Wahlberg looks like he has had another incident. This time as he goes through the final chicane up. Oh, that hard banking, that hard transition onto the banking sends him around. Rudolph Gunther is on pit road for his stop. Giancarlo actually is not going to encounter too much more lap traffic. Probably a bit of a relief given the way this race has gone with the track temperature being what it is. Let's take one more look at it. It has not gone up anymore. But remember, earlier in the week, these guys practiced with the track temperature of roughly 85 to 90 degrees. At the start of the practice session this morning, 121 degrees, and now up to 130. So these guys have been struggling with the track, with the temperature. A lot of braking points changed. A lot of guys having to change the way they drive this track completely. And they obviously, as we talked about in the pre-race, the Porsche really struggling here. except for that one. Yuho has kept it smooth and steady, trying to maintain his points lead. Does not look like he will today, but this is going to wind up being an extremely great race towards the end of the season. Giancarlo came into today 2 points behind Yuho after Yuho's win last week. Yuho had been winning, and Giancarlo won the first 3 races of the season. Then Yuho comes along and wins several after that. Now they come to Homestead 2 points apart. Yuho had it, but it looks like Giancarlo is going to take it again. Will they swap again next week? Giancarlo might actually run into some lap traffic again. Adam Barker, who did not get a chance to practice or qualify with these track conditions, started in 15th, has made his way all the way up to 8th. Simon Zierk has started in 10th, has made his way up to 5th. Yuho almost got clipped there. And it looks like Killer V might have had an issue a moment ago. And again, it's that Porsche curse coming off that backstretch banking. Just seems if you have the line the least bit wrong, it unsettles the car dramatically. Seven and a half minutes to go for Giancarlo. Harry in second. The lead has stayed right around 10 to 10 and a half seconds. Nalawi in third has stayed within about 1.8 seconds of Harry, but has not been able to make up any real ground. Yuho now 6 seconds back from these two. He is in fourth. Simon Zierk continues to have Maximilian Gunther all over the back bumper. Simon in fifth, Maximilian in sixth. And multiple crashes just happened. Clayton Allen involved. Down in through turn 2, just goes around. Then Matthew Allen. Looks like Matthew, let's see where Matt went off track at, coming down through turn 1. A little deep into turn 2, it looks like just overshot the exit. Right in front of Adam Barker. Adam having some close calls here today. Chris Perry also had an incident. Down off the back straightaway, and there you have it. Same thing we've seen out of the Porsches all day long. Giancarlo up front with just over 5 minutes to go. Harry in second, Scott in third, Yuho in fourth. Simon in fifth, Maximilian in sixth. Jason Wahlberg in seventh place. Adam Barker in eighth. Brian LaRue in ninth. And Killer V has had an amazing recovery, all things considered. He has had probably one of the roughest races out there today. He has still managed to maintain a top 10 run. Giancarlo has actually started to open the lead back up just a little bit more, almost 11 seconds now. Just under 5 minutes remaining. Harry is pretty safely into second. Scott in third, though. Yuho is closing. So two distinct battles going on right now. Scott Nalawi in third, Yuho in fourth. They are battling for third place as Yuho catches him. Simon Zierk in fifth, and Maximilian Gunther has lost a lot of ground to Simon Zierk. Now 2 seconds behind. That one may be decided at this point. And Yuho continuing to close in on Scott Nalawi. Last time by, Yuho was 0.6 of a second faster than Nalawi. But they do have a lot of lap traffic to contend with as Yuho gets right to Nalawi's back bumper through the corner. And obviously Yuho, Scott trying to get around the lap car. Obviously kicked the back end out, lost some momentum. Yuho saw it in time to check up, but that was a close call. And now they come down through this section where we've seen so many problems today. The lap car goes high as these two slide by. Killer V's back on pit road as he takes 9th place, but he dives down onto pit road. And now Yuho all over Scott's back bumper for 3rd place. Where will he make his move? He'll have about 2 laps left to get it done. Keeps looking to the inside through these tight corners. That is where the Porsche is so strong. But Yuho has to be very careful in certain spots. That BMW gets up off the turns a lot better, and if he pushes too hard, he'll send the Porsche around. Yuho has only had one close call today. He dives to the inside as they head to the back straightaway. He had been setting them up, and that is the one spot where Scott had been going a little wide. Scott looked like he was going to make a move to the inside, but couldn't get the nose in. Yuho now has 3rd. Back up onto the front straightaway. Rudolf Gunther has had an incident. And just slides it off the track, gets off the back straightaway perfectly, backs up just in time. And Giancarlo coming back out onto the back straightaway. This battle behind him allowed him to pull away just a little bit more. Same with Harry, as he's been able to open up a little bit more of a gap over Yuho. As Yuho comes down through that final section. Comes down the front straightaway, white flag in the air for Yuho. Or for Giancarlo, excuse me. Harry in 2nd, Yuho in 3rd. Nalawi back to 4th. Simon Zierk has secured 5th. He is pulled away from Maximilian Gunther. Jason Wahlberg And now back to 7th. Adam Barker has had an amazing run for no practice in these track conditions. Currently in 8th place. Brian LaRue, the lone Mercedes in the top 10. The lone Mercedes, I think, still on track. Let's see. Yeah, he is the last Mercedes of the 3 on track. He is in 9th place, and Rudolf Gunther in 10th. Giancarlo coming around on his final lap, onto the back straightaway one more time. Back to the infield. Around the left-hander, down through the final chicane, back out the hard bump onto the front straightaway. And Giancarlo wins his 4th race of the season. Harry coming through. This will be one of Harry's best finishes this season. The first time we've seen a McLaren on track this season, Harry brings it home in 2nd. Yuho pulls off another podium finish in 3rd. Scott Nalawi stays in the battle for 4th. Simon Zierk in 5th. Maximilian Gunther in 6th. Jason Wahlberg is going to come home in 7th. And Giancarlo bringing it on to pit road. Let's see if we can interview a couple of drivers. Hey, Yuho, this is Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doug.
Hey, man. Congratulations on yet another podium finish this season.
Well, that wasn't easy. I'm sweating like a pig. I don't know that's pig sweat, but anyway, I'm sweating.
Well, I have to ask because we saw every single Porsche out there, except for yours, have some problem coming off the back straightaway. I mean, you clipped the grass once, but for the most part, coming off the back straightaway through that final infield section, you were the one Porsche that managed to keep that car going the right way.
Yeah, well, actually, I clipped it like 4 or 5 times. I was just lucky that you didn't catch that in the camera.
Oh, okay. Well,
so, but yeah, one time, big slide, and otherwise just wiggly. But yeah, this isn't a Porsche track for sure, at least for me.
Yeah, it definitely showed. I think it was the transition off that banking and then back onto it is where every problem, that rear engine just kind of throws the car around.
Yeah, I should have practiced a lot more. I just don't get it this track, and I haven't raced here too much. So this was a very, very worthwhile. I was working hard. I don't know if Scott got kind of problems with the tires in the end. I catch him quite quickly, and he went wide, so I managed to overtake him on that tight corner. I think it was the corner 8 where I managed to do that, but otherwise they were just pulling ahead of me.
Yeah, it looked like he had been struggling through that corner after pit stops, and you just managed to get him timed perfectly to get through.
Yeah, very interesting, intense race.
Well, congratulations, man. Go celebrate another podium finish.
Yeah, that's a Finnish sauna for me now. Thanks.
All right, let's see if we can get a hold of Harry. Hey, Harry, this is Doug. You got me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Hey, man, congratulations on that second place run.
Thanks.
It looked like at times you were just as fast as Giancarlo, just kind of fell off a little bit more than he did. But I have to ask, after driving the McLaren here, how are you feeling about that car? Are we gonna see it more this season?
It went all right. No problems.
It definitely did. You had quite a run out there. You had some extremely fast laps out there as well in that car.
Yeah, it went all right. Don't know what happened in the pits. I was almost 4 seconds down and then almost over 9. So I really don't know what happened, but it's what it is.
Well,
I never could catch him anyway.
well, man, regardless of what happened in the pits, and we did notice that it was a little bit slow, you managed to come home with a second place finish and one heck of a run today, man. Congratulations.
Thanks.
All right, let's see if we can get our winner. Giancarlo, this is Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doug.
Hey, well, this is becoming a really common thing.
Yeah. Feels good. Feels good to be here and have a chat after the race.
I have to say that your fourth win of the season, but today was definitely different for a lot of drivers out there because of the increased track temperature and other factors like the Porsches. But you're one of the few drivers that just did not have any issues today. It seemed at times like you backed off. You weren't pushing as hard as you could.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the first stint was a lot of fear going into a few braking zones, definitely in the first sector and last sector. But then, yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Harry after the pit stops. It seems like I gained, I don't know, like 6 or 7 seconds during the pit stop phase. And after that, I definitely took it a lot easier.
You managed to, you had about a 9.5 second lead, and we noticed you never really tried to extend it after that, just maintain that gap. It did seem like he had about a 4 second slower pit stop, but never could tell what exactly happened to him. He was about 2 seconds slower on pit road throughout from entry to exit, so I don't think it would have mattered if he had had a 10-second pit stop today. It was just all Giancarlo.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, man, race win number 4. You came into today 2 points out of the lead, and I do believe you're going to take the lead and the points back, but it's turning into a very tight race between you and Yuho.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I can't wait for the rest of the races of the season.
Well, it'll definitely be exciting. Congratulations, man. Race win number 4.
Thank you. Have a good one, Doug.
You too. All right, Giancarlo gets race win number 4, reclaims the points lead. It will not be a huge points lead, but he is definitely back in the lead. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you guys had as much fun as we did. Don't forget to tune in tonight for the BRR Cup Series at 7:30 Eastern, followed by the Fast and Fun ARCA Series. Have a great day.